Hi, I'm Dr. Gilbaugh from Gracie May Advocate Center. Today's topic, we're going to talk about interpersonal relationships. Interpersonal relationships are really about how we connect with other humans. We are created to be social beings. That means that we have a strong desire or an innate desire to connect with other people around us. That desire is biologically based, but it's a social need. So as we develop, we start to understand that our peer relationships are really important to us. And as we get older, our family relationships become even more important to us. We're going to focus today on how we're going to have healthy connections and support relationships that are important to us, and to find ways that we can value each other in how we relate and interact. I'm going to share some tips with you on some healthy relationships. First of all, kind of a golden rule is that it's more important to be happy than to be right. So keeping that in mind, I'm going to give you some tips. They're pretty basic, but I think they'll help. The first tip is that when you have important things to discuss, it's important for you to stay in the moment and to work through any conflict. So if conflict happens and it starts to escalate, it's fine and it's a good idea to take a break, but stay in the moment. Don't walk away from the conflict. In other words, take a breath, self-regulate, and try again. If you walk away from that conflict, that tells the person that you're relating to that they're not important enough to you to work it through to the end. Conflict resolution is a big part of having a healthy relationship. Healthy relationships are based on the foundation of trust, and if you can't talk about hard things, then the trust seems to be violated. The second thing that we can talk about for a tip is the use of I statements. So I statements are very useful in terms of communicating within an interpersonal or close intimate relationship. It takes the burden off of the person that you're talking to and puts it on you as the person who has the problem. So the communication begins like this. When you address a concern, you bring it up as an observation. For example, I noticed you raised your voice at me when I asked you what time you were going to be home. That's the observational statement. The second part of an I statement is to state the concern. So an example of that would be, I'm concerned about the way you raised your voice because I feel like I'm doing my job as a parent to know where you are and what time you'll be home. The third is to state your need. So for example, I need you to talk respectfully from now on. The interactions that we have with people are really important, especially our family members. It's a little bit ironic that the people we care about the most and the people that care the most about us are typically the people that we treat the worst. So keep that in mind the next time that you're having an interpersonal conflict with somebody that is in your family or a close friend group. So I'm going to leave you one other thought, is that if you go to bed angry, that anger tends to stew. So it is important. There's an old saying that you should never let the sun go down on anger. There's a lot of truth to that for a scientific reason. When you have stress and anger fuels that stress, and you go to bed and you sleep on that stress, it produces cortisol in your brain most of the night, even while you're trying to sleep. And so we want you to recover from that stress by going to bed with the anger issue resolved. It's an important first step in conflict resolution, but it's a long-lasting interpersonal relationship skill. That's all I have for today. Thanks so much.